Before we create our database, we need to do a little bit of planning. So we take a good look at the data, and here's the database structure. In an assessment, you will need to have a similar slide. An important note is that your first column is always ID, integer, auto increment, and usually this is not supplied, so you need to remember to add that in. We then have columns for our event, type, and image, and all of those are strings or variable character, and the sizes range from 100 for event names, which are quite long, down to 20 for our type, which is really short. We also have a date type. Please make sure that in an assessment, if you have a date, the format is year, month, day, separated by dashes, and we have a text type, which is for things that are longer than 255 characters, like our description. Our next step is to take our data and create a CSV file. Please check with your teacher what they want you to do. They might want you to use the Random Data tab to generate 20 random items so that you have a smaller database and then you can upload the images that are associated with. They may prefer you to use all of the data but remove the images column. For this demonstration, I'm actually going to keep the images column and use all of the data. Please select all the data that you need, create a new spreadsheet, and paste the data in. You'll need to create a new column, call it ID, put in the first two numbers, use the black cross at the bottom right-hand side, and scroll all the way down. When you let go, this will automatically number the data all the way to number 371 if you're using the full data set. Next, go File, Save As, go into your Raw Assets folder, and save the document as holidaysdata.csv. If you're using Project Space, please push the Database button to access your database, type in the name for your database, and push Create. It will let you create a connection file, and inside that connection file you can access your username and also your password. To get to PHPMyAdmin, just click on it, and you can use that username and password to log in. I'm actually using XAMPP and PHPMyAdmin for this demonstration, and if you are using XAMPP, it turns out that you can go New straight in your PHPMyAdmin. You can type in the name of the database, and you can push Create. Regardless of which system you're using, you should be able to choose the database on the left-hand side, and we need to create a table, so I'm going to call this Holidays, and we've got 6 columns, and let's go ahead and create it. Our first column is going to be ID, and what we want to do is we want to scroll all the way across looking for the auto increment, and when I set it to auto increment, it does set it up as a primary key. If yours doesn't, please make sure that you do set a primary key on your ID column. So you'll then want to set up your event, type, date, and image. And I've just remembered that type is often a reserved word, so calling it activity_type is going to save you some potential problems in the future. My last column is of course my description. I can then scroll all the way down and say Save. We can now click on that table and see the structure. Please double check that you have set your ID to be a primary key that's auto incremented. Our next step is to import our data, so go Import, browse to the file, and mine's called holidaysdata.csv. We're going to scroll down, and where it says skip this number of rows, please make sure that you push 1 so that it doesn't include your heading row. Then go all the way to the bottom and push Import. All going well, it should import all of your data, in my case, all 371 rows. On the left-hand side, I can push the holidays table, and I can confirm that my date imported successfully.